Welcome to the Going In Show, a place where we talk about subject matter most are scared to touch.
Yeah, a platform where we discuss racial and cultural relations from a hip-hop perspective.
I'm Raw Proof for Tennessee MC.
And I'm Pal Shadow's, the general of the House of Hip Step.
And this is the Going In Show.
So let's go in, yo.
Yo, Proof, I think it's about time we do a show on race and cultural relations, you know?
Sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah, but we gotta stay dangerous, you feel me? Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Raw Proof, Pal Shadow, show them how we can win. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Raw Proof, Pal Shadows, we about to begin.
Welcome to the Going In Show. I'm Raw Proof, and this is
Pal Shadow's, the general of the House of Hip Step, baby.
You know it. Hey, we are back again, and we have another guest on our show today to talk about race and cultural issues as well as hip hop, because it's a hip hop perspective that we utilize.
That's right.
So let me introduce my main source for beats, recordings, mix downs, MC, DJ, B-boy, dabbled in graffiti, owner of the Madhouse Recording Studios, Eddie B, DJ Eddie B, Ed1, also known as the Edifice.
All right, peace. And I'd like to thank you too for having me on the show. And you know, I feel like family. You know, me and Proof got history, and I feel like I know you just from watching the show, just from y'all's history.
That's what's
Appreciate
up,
y'all
man.
letting me on.
Likewise. Glad to have you in the building.
Thanks.
And what's that alias? Proof?
The Edifice.
The Edifice.
Yeah.
In the building. Welcome to the Going In Show, fam.
Thanks.
So a brief, real quick rundown on some of Eddie's history that I know is that he comes from a military family. So they moved around different parts of the world. United States, he lived on the east, west, south, north. But the mainstay is Clarksville, Tennessee, 931 Love. So yeah, man, let's start there. Like, let's talk about some of your origins as far as hip hop goes there, because you guys were some of the first hip hoppers that I've heard of coming out of that area. And I just want to know, like, what was it like growing up there as far as hip hop goes? What were the sessions like? Where were they at? What was the name of the crew?
All right. Let me tell you this. Back in those days, in the 80s, the whole hip hop scene was a small club. And you know, outside of, you know, black folks doing it, it was almost zero, especially in my town. So like I say, it was, you know, you was definitely isolated if you was into hip hop. It wasn't all over, you know, it wasn't big now like it is now.
Interesting that you say that, because that brings to my mind how, you know, back even here in Nashville, and y'all see I got my Nashville MC shirt on today. Holla at us. Inbox us and get you on, get yours today. But I always tell people back in the 90s in Nashville, for instance, hip hop was very much a black thing, you know? There weren't many people from the white community, we hate those terms, black and white, on the Going In Show, but there weren't many people from the white community that were participating, much less here in Nashville, other communities. So, it's interesting that you bring up that point.
Tell us what it looked like. Where were you guys practicing hip hop at in Clarksville?
Yeah.
In Clarksville, the spot for the music was my basement, you know? That's where the turntables, the mics, the keyboards, drum machines, you know, that was the spot.
And who came to this spot? And this was your parents' house, correct?
Yep. It was my parents' house, and you know, of course, my brother was my partner. He's always been dope, making beats, keyboards, beatboxing, rapping, everything. He's always been dope, and
Older or younger?
Younger, but
Younger.
technically much better. You know what I mean?
Let's get more specific. And you and your brother are half Japanese?
Yeah, half Okinawan, half, and my dad's Irish German.
to what the common folk known as white.
Right.
That's what's up. And so like, boom, military town. What did it look like as far as like the hip hoppers that were coming to congregate at y'all's house? Was it mostly black folks, white folks,
I would
everybody, or good mix? Or?
I would say there was a mix of everybody, but like I said, the majority, black folks was coming through.
Right.
Majority.
Your spot?
Like even, rhyming, like they had me and my brother rapping, but I didn't know anyone else outside of the black race that was rhyming in my town.
People don't get mad. This goes back to that statement like Lord Jamal was saying about the house of hip hop and all that. But it's not a mystery that those of us that was there, hip hop was very much a black thing before it became a everybody thing. And that's not to exclude anybody, that's just what it was. So when would you say that you actually fell in love with hip hop? And what were those specific records that really
All right, I'm gonna bring you back. All right, like I'm old enough to remember when the Sugar Hill Gang, came on the radio, and like I didn't know what rap was, but I knew I liked what they was doing. They was speaking over these beats, and I was drawn to it. And then later, when we got to Korea, I heard Curtis Blow and Jekyll and Hyde, and that I think the Genius rap was when I first was like, hey, this is something, because by then I'd heard a little something.
And that's in Korea.
Yeah, that was Jekyll and Hyde
Dope.
rapping over Genius of Love, because I knew the beat, but then I heard these guys rhyming over it, so I was like, this is something. I don't know what it is, but something's going on here.
And that made
That
me
was
want to.
Korea.
That's a great point to lead to this next question I have about a little bit about racism, right? Because you lived internationally.
Yeah,
a lot of us.
Korea, and I've been to Japan, I've been to Germany.
And would you say that you've experienced racism in those places? Did you see racism against minorities, for instance? And you're half Asian, so you maybe not against you, but did you against other nationalities in Korea? Did you experience racism there?
I mean,
or see it?
I did, but I mean,
You saw it?
yeah, I mean, I just don't think
in what
a
form?
lot of Koreans really wanted any non-Koreans living there, at the time. This was like 1980, but and then a lot of them was like family, But I wouldn't say I saw a lot of racism, but I guess it's everywhere.
Getting into the Asian culture, you brought an instrument here. Can you go ahead and show and tell on that right there that represents the part of the world where your family originates from?
This is what I'm holding is called the Sanshin, and it's not an actual one, of course. It's a model of one, but it's like a banjo from Okinawa that predates the Japanese samisen. And
That's what's up.
it sounds like a banjo.
It sounds like a banjo. It kind of looks like a banjo.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it predates the banjo. There's a Japanese instrument called the samisen that this predates it. This is Okinawan, and Japan's the main island.
Speak on Okinawa a little bit more for those that don't know. Me and Pao were checking it out on the map the other day, and we were kind of amazed.
Okinawa is part of an island chain south of Japan called the Ryukyu Islands. And my mother's actually from an island called Kumeshima, south of Okinawa.
Beautiful name. I like that. Kuma.
It means Turtle Island.
Yeah. And a question that every American wants to know from a Japanese American. Do Japanese people still feel bitter about what the Americans did to places like Hiroshima? Is there still resentment?
I don't think there is any resentment, to be totally honest. Like, they've learned to let it go and make peace.
Yeah, I have seen videos where people that fought on both sides of that war would come together, and God, man, that's a deep-rooted feeling it must be, especially if you actually fought in that war and stuff. Let's take a break real quick, and we'll be right back with more of the Going In Show.
Centers for Spiritual Living is a global community composed of more than 400 spiritual centers across the land.
We believe in cause and effect and that our thinking and expectations can create our own reality. Promoting a community of tolerance, understanding, and respect. Visit cslnashville.org for much more. Back to the Going In show. Here we are.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah, so Eddie B, we had left off talking about Japan and Okinawa. Now, I want to go back to the timeline of your hip-hop journey. So the One Way Posse, that was actually the name of you when you were a teenager, and all these different kids around the city come into your nest to congregate and make this beautiful thing called hip-hop. And then as time went on, you got real close with a cat named Size, MC Size.
Yeah, he's actually the founder of the One Way Posse, and it wasn't just like, it was like a bunch of groups and DJs and break dancers. Like I said, it was a small club, so, you know, like minds think alike, you know, so we everyone conjugated.
Yeah.
You gotta think, this is the 80s in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Right.
So
Hip hop was everywhere.
yeah.
So Southern Asylum was the name that I feel like the One Way Posse evolved into, right?
Yeah,
and that
was me. Originally, the members was me, Ron, which is Size, and Precise.
Right, and Kenzie, you said your brother.
Well, yeah, he was. Yeah, I would say he was a member of Southern Asylum.
Big shout out to Kenzie. That's we mentioned him earlier. That's Eddie's younger
my
brother, and he's just really good at everything he does.
Yeah,
and
he's a very technical guy. Like, he was in the computers way before me, and programming drum machines and keyboards.
And I
He
do
was
want
always sharp like that.
I do want to note that he was here in Nashville making sure he was actually working up here, right?
Yeah,
And
he
he-
worked on Taylor Swift's first album.
Your little brother?
in Franklin,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to him, shout out to that.
He was showing some of these producers and
Yeah.
engineers up here how to operate and run Pro Tools 1.0 when it first came
Yeah,
out.
what happened was, like, Pro Tools had just came out, so studios were using tape.
Still.
And then when they was converting over, they didn't know what to do, so he picked it up real well in school, so he was able to work in a lot of major studios.
Because he went to Black Horse, right?
Yeah, he was working in Black Horse and Sound Kitchen and others, you know.
Oh, that's where he worked at. He actually went to school for audio engineering somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I forget, well, Black Horse has a school now, but back then they just had those.
No, it was Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dark Horse.
Dark
No, I
Horse.
don't think I was
It's in
familiar.
Franklin. It's like looks like a big barn, you know, with horses out front and everything.
Yeah.
And so let's talk real quick about Southern Asylum in Clarksville, Tennessee, and IR Skills, rest in peace, Toby Records. What were you learning over there at IR's house? Because he also had a basement, right?
Yeah, like IR was like the first person I knew that could make music independently from beginning to end. He had his own studio, his own keyboards, he programmed music, he sang, you know, he had rappers, and, you know, so like I was drawn to that. I had to be there.
Right.
After I met him and found out, like, I spent so much money in there. You
What
know,
was that sound like? Who were you not imitating, but who were you
My influences
aspired
then?
to be at that time?
like then, like, even now, like, I've more followed East Coast rappers as far as who I like to sound like. You know, that's just my personal preference, because I was like from the
such
time,
as?
like, I like, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, Rakim, Nas, you know, guys like that.
Yeah. So, you know, those sounds, what I love about those sounds in that era is the breakbeat culture, you know, the presence of
Yes.
the breakbeat. And I think that hip hop has gotten away from breakbeat culture, and these new producers have a lot, which is why hip hop sounds very differently, because it's mostly programmed drums, right?
Yeah.
And they're not sampling the live drums anymore as much, but of course that sound is making a comeback. But what do you know about breakbeat culture and hip hop? And do you think breakbeats are still an important part of hip hop culture?
Yeah, I personally am all for break beats, you know, and I never stopped using them.
Yeah.
And I have my favorite break
Me either.
beats, you know, like
Me
I like the Mansell Midnight Break, and I like the Substitution beat, and the Impeach the President, of course, you know, like all the classic breaks and obscure stuff that no one heard of.
You chopped up the Amen 1,000 times.
Yeah, you know,
The
so,
funky drummer.
Yeah.
I used the
And-
funky drummer on this joint I got called Cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they should be more prominent. You know what I mean? I know you said they're making a comeback, but
It is. You know, with guys like Rakim and Common and Pete Rock just dropped a new album.
Yeah.
Rakim and Corrupt and Master Killer got a new joint that's sick. The Dog Pound is teamed up with DJ Premier. And I mean, the Dog Pound with DJ Premier, check that out.
Let's jump back into the journey. So working with and at IR Skills Studio, learning a lot from him. I mean, he was recording on DAT tape and
ate that.
things of this nature, you know, doing shows locally, getting on the radio. He was a big staple in the community.
Making his own CDs, selling them. He was producing rap groups.
And he was recording everybody in the community.
Yeah, he was the guy.
So then you guys were working on an album over there, and then you guys brought the work over to Millennium Records around getting close to the new millennium, correct?
Yeah.
And so you guys dropped that
2000
record.
exactly is when it opened up and we was named after, you know.
And so that was with JJR.
Double JR.
Yeah, Double JR was running that. I think there was a
Strychnine was like a big part of it. Like me, Strychnine, and Double JR was the three heads of that whole operation.
Oh, word.
Were you coming down to Nashville to any shows?
I was, like, you know.
What's one of the big shows you remember coming down to hip hop?
Like when I was little, the first thing we went to the Fresh Fest, you know what I'm saying? But I've been to Smoking Grooves, and I had another ticket for another Smoking Grooves, but they canceled it. And I've been to other non-hip hop shows too.
Was the Fresh Fest the one where the big stampede happened?
No, that was I didn't go to that one. That was the Public Enemy one when some kids got crushed in a corridor.
That was in Nashville.
Yeah, that was a long time ago,
Some
like
people-
'87, I think.
Some people think that might have been a big stain for hip hop, the way the others would look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened, and I got some friends that are doing research. Like, I wonder if that, you know, they're wondering if that incident had anything to do with, I guess, the lack of hip hop, maybe from then till maybe the mid '90s or something coming
In
through.
Tennessee?
In Nashville specifically.
Oh, in Nashville, interesting. Yeah, I could see people wanting to use that as an excuse to, you know, they've always tried to use that as an excuse to suppress hip hop culture, especially here in the South. We fought a hard fight for our presence here to be felt.
So Millennium Records was, you know, a monument in your hip hop journey, and I'm sure that you learned some things over there as well. And you guys released the work that you did at IR Skills through Millennium, and pushed that, and then did your thing. I mean, you've been on some.
Yeah, we made Mind Eclectic, and then we made another album called 808, Music by Numbers. We never released it.
Okay. But
Music by Numbers.
But in between time, you was always busy, always doing something,
Yeah, I'm
working
always
on something with
working
somebody.
on somebody's stuff at all times. You know, I'm constantly working on somebody's album,
And
or
there's
project or song.
And I do want to mention this one cat named Ginsu Dean from Mellow Music Group. Shout out to Mellow Music Group.
Eddie Alexander.
That's his real name. He gave you a shout out.
He was Eddie D, and I was Eddie B.
And he gave you a shout out on an interview.
And
that
I was shocked that he remembered my name and everything, first and last, and gave me a shout out and everything. And I was
Nails, our friend
shocked.
Nails, head touches.
Our friend Nails, the War Machine. You know, he shouts out Eddie for letting him borrow the ASR.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in the day.
So you know, that's how Nails first got started with making those type
the
of
head
production
touches,
beats and stuff.
ASR, and
You know Head Touches?
yeah.
Those my people too from
Yeah.
Clarksville back in circa '97.
Yeah.
Used to go to the spot, salute everybody from the spot. Real quick, Femo, one last question for me. Can hip hop music be used as a medium to create positive change in society?
I definitely think it can, and it definitely should, you know, and it has, you know.
It can.
There's a negative
it
stain.
should, and it has. It has a what?
You know, there's a negative stain, but there's always positive music and, you know, something that can educate and uplift. It's out there, you know.
The facts.
No doubt.
All right, y'all. And we'll be right back at the Going In show right after this break.
Check out Erica on Soul of the City. That's WXNA 101.5 FM. Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. A 2-hour groove featuring Neil soul, jazz, hip-hop, R&B, and more from back in the day up until the current right now. Soul of the City. She takes all submissions from local artists at soulofthecitynashville@gmail.com. Let Erica create a little black girl magic to help ease you into the end of your day.
Right back at you again. Here we are.
Back, baby.
Yeah.
Back.
Myself, Raw Proof, my co-host.
Pal Shadows.
Me, Eddie B.
That's right. You already know. We got the guests in the house, Eddie B, Ski, and we're just wrapping things up with the hip-hop journey he's been on. And so the Madhouse Recording Studios, after Millennium Records and the run with them, you took everything that you learned and you started creating from the recording studio that you built, called the Madhouse, which I love that name, the Madhouse. If you've ever been over there, you'll catch the vibe. It's a good time, man. We grill out. We party on different degrees.
Like to hang out.
Yeah, but we definitely put in work and we get music done. And
I look forward to coming myself. Sound like my kind of spot.
And I know that personally because I've been putting out projects out there on the Creek. The Unearthed Gems project was all recorded and mixed there.
Blue Collar Music.
Blue Collar Music with Ed. Defter with Strychnine.
The Edifice.
The Edifice is his solo joint coming out soon. And my latest project, Inner Power, was all done there. So with that being said,
Size Last Call.
Size's Last Call. Songs
Don't forget about Tone Capone.
Songs from Tone Capone, and more. So with that being said, you've done so much in hip hop, and now it sounds like from personal conversations, like you're starting to branch out and maybe merge and mix other genres. So I actually.
Yes, sir.
I actually bought you a birthday gift like last December. He's a December baby like myself.
What you get him, man?
And I got him some kind of country, or maybe Southern.
Yeah, changed my life.
And so I bought him a harmonica, and I said, man,
This is in December, mind you.
Last December. And so I bought him a harmonica, and then I came over like 3 months later, and he's breaking the harmonica down, replacing parts, watching videos, watching tutorials, listening to a bunch of blues music and stuff, and
Yeah,
I guess
dove into it.
I guess it was a good gift.
Like
I like it.
People don't understand, like, the blues is the roots of American music. You know, rock and roll and country and pop and everything.
Rhythm and blues.
Branched off from that.
Facts.
And like rock is a fruit of the blues.
Of the blues.
And country is a
That's
fruit.
right.
But it all stems from the blues.
That's right.
That tree.
That's a fact.
And even, British groups were influenced.
By
Led
the blues.
Zeppelin,
Yes, sir.
Eric Clapton, all them.
Yes,
And
sir.
so you've been
Stones.
combining the harp.
Yeah, because like I fell in love with blues and hip hop is in my DNA. So I'm combining the two, like I'm doing 12-bar blues setup, but with hip hop drums in it, and a harmonica over it.
808s.
Yeah,
All right.
808s.
So that's
Do
what's
something-
up, man.
You
something
got a
new.
little something you
Yeah.
want to do for us?
Yeah.
A little sample.
Bro,
doubt.
you bust out something?
You might need a beat, pal.
Break it
I
down.
need a little. I think I got a beat for my man. Pal Shadows on the beat. Eddie F
Break
on
it
the
on
harmonica.
down.
Let's go. Eddie B. You ready?
Gotcha.
Let go. You started from.
It's the going in show. It's the going in show. All right, man.
Fresh for 2024. You suckers.
All right, let's go into shout out.
Yo, let's
Shout
give
outs.
some shout outs, yo. Man, it's been such a pleasure having you here, Eddie B.
No doubt.
Yo, I'd like to shout out
been
my
fun.
man Top Gnosis, and my man Chance from PNC, Timothy Chance. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my homies that's in the building right now that you don't see on camera. TSU, Big Blue.
Hey, yo, my shout out goes to DJ Doza Nova, Top Notch, Rim Steel, and all the MCs that dabble in the other elements of hip hop. Keep it culturalistic, baby.
Yo, I'd like to shout out definitely Pal, Raw Proof, Strict 9, my boy Size, Precise, Two Tone, my brother Kenzie, Phantom, C4, and last but not least, Nels. What up?
Check out this music video. One is on the beat by Eddie B featuring MC Size.
Yeah, Clarksville, salute.
931 Love.
Those bastards knew how to construct an edifice.
Pound for pound, we can get down. Schedule 10 rounds. Who was in the octagon and taking them down? High tide like the ocean, I'm making them drown. I don't rap, I bring new sound, breaking it down. You miss, I grab the rebound, and I scored. My flow rained and poured, strangled you with the mic cord. I came with a sharp sword you couldn't afford. It's Tori, I'm so still when I hit record. Words induce paralysis, grip mics cause calluses. And palaces, Henny and golden chalices. You know who stylist is, you know how phallus is. On your theory and your final analysis. Be wary, very scary. Midnight in the cemetery where you end up buried. You end the one that you marry. These sounds they carried flows off and very military. Couldn't stop my legendary commentary. Everyone's moving and grooving to the rhythm. Let the bass hit them. Eyes we gotta spin them. Too hot to quit them. Bring the house down. Everyone is on the beat now. Everyone's moving and grooving to the rhythm. Let the bass hit them. Eyes we gotta spin them. Too hot to quit them. Bring the house down. Everyone is on the beat now.
Never what has been what happened and always have had a knack for the vernacular's particular path. I blame the boom bap and we blaze and fall back. Make it raise the white flag, a laugh and white like African. Ode to the savages and ravages, no back. Baghdad and backpacks, hashtags the madmen. Mad ass with passing pause for the classic of flawless craftsman to the lid at the casket. Click, click, empty the passage and bury the bastards when the thing gets spastic. Old dog, the fall off can't imagine. Keep sleeping like these beats is ambient. Never understanding, I'm never abandoning the gift to overstand and expand your bandwidth. We got with Eddie, he erected the edifice. They accept the offerings, dominance, effortless. Madhouse talk.
And grooving to the rhythm, let the bass hit them. Eyes we gotta spin them, too hot to quit them. Bring the house down, everyone is on the beat now. Everyone's moving and grooving to the rhythm, let the bass hit them. Eyes we gotta spin them, too hot to quit them. Bring the house down, everyone is on the beat now. Everyone's moving and grooving to the rhythm, let the bass hit them. Eyes we gotta spin them, too hot to quit them. Bring the house down, everyone is on the beat now. Everyone's moving and grooving to the rhythm, let the bass hit them. Rhymes they gotta spit them, too hot to quit them. Bring the house down, everyone is on the beat now.